What's up, guys? Alan's here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the live action Aladdin that was released on May 24th, 2019. This live action was based off of the 1992 classic of the same name, and I've been watching the animated since I was a little kid, and all the cast was memorable back then, and Robin Williams was at its peak, and there was a lot of moments in the film that I could relate to, and it just was touching, and the romance was cool, and just it's it was a true Disney classic and one of my personal Disney favorites of all time. But since they released it, now it's there's a lot to talk about this film. I saw this film with my friend before the official release of Aladdin, so I watched it at 9 p.m. No, 6 p.m. at a local theater, when literally on my ticket on Fandango was saying you have 1 hour until you arrive there. I was like, oh, come on, guy, come on, let's we have to hurry. We need to get to our seats. And my friend was Corey, so yeah, we rushed and we were like, no, we have to see this. My first wish was to get our seats, check. Be on time, check. And 3, to experience the movie, check. All of that down. And also we got 3 popcorn, so kind of a bonus. But, so yeah. So, and what I really liked about, my experience at Aladdin premiere was that right next to us, there were girls that were just, laughing, at funny moments, and I'm just like, wow, they're really intrigued in this movie, so maybe I might be intrigued at some point. So, yeah, before I cover up my review on this live-action remake, there will be spoilers. So if you haven't seen the animated feature or the movie in theaters, then I'll highly suggest you to do that now and then come back when you have the opportunity. But if you've seen the movie, or you don't care about spoilers and all that, now's a good time. And I have a computer with me right here, so I can remember all the actors and actresses that were featured in this film. So without further ado, here's my opinion on Aladdin. So basically, this was it still follows the same storyline as the original, being Aladdin as a street rat who steals in order to survive Agrabah, which is, in the live action, they made it feel like it was more in the Middle Eastern part of Europe, in the Arabia area. So but the thing is that Aladdin, in the inside, he acts more of a caring person who really wants to be treated equally as everyone else, and I thought that to be really cool of a character, and one of my favorite characters in a animated movie. And this actor, unlike the animated, this one was played by Muna Masad, so claps to you on that. And when Aladdin meets Jasmine, who is portrayed by Naomi Scott, the Pink Power Ranger, the Lemonhead Band group, so she portrayed as Jasmine, and they both fell in love, connected at in many ways as possible, and then how the story flows, Aladdin finds a lamp, and the genie is the reason why Jasmine and Aladdin connect even more, and their character development grows even bigger. But the sinister Jafar is just trying to take the lamp and rule the whole Agrabah as the Sultan, because he's always considered to be the second out of the whole room, and the Sultan really wants Jasmine to marry a prince in order to rule the kingdom, because Sultan's not growing older, he's growing older, and that there's a lot of conflicts going on, so she has to pick a prince and marry him. And it cannot be based on true love, that's what he's saying. But yeah, so that's the kind of similar concept. But the difference is now is that we, instead of having Robin Williams as the genie, rest in peace, Robin Williams, we now have Will Smith as the genie. And its CGI is a bit off at times, especially with when he introduces himself to Aladdin, or a little bit in The Friend Like Me. But other than that, I mean, Will Smith, he's played in movies like Men in Black and like and Hitch, which is why I'm gonna connect this to the film, and also other good titles. So I was thinking maybe he will have a shot at this. And I've seen the TV spot of the genie, what he looks like in CGI, and I felt so sad for that. Like, I really was truly, this is not the genie I know of. And, you know, and then, like, with other, but then as I watched other TV spots, and then finally went on to watch a film, I like this new genie. Like, they really made him more of, like, different than Robin Williams, which I think that Guy Ritchie, who is the director of this film, known for the Sherlock Holmes franchise and the Snatch, so he wanted to be unique from the original as possible, so he casted Will Smith as the genie, and gave him some different, a little bit alterations to the lines, or made him more like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air kind of personality, just so that they don't make him like how Robin Williams performed, which is good. It made me like have fun in some way, which is good. That's a good accomplishment. And like when I mentioned CGI, I meant like there's some scenes when it's just like, oh, that like Abu, like at a climax, his eyes were bulging. It looked like somebody was doing a Snapchat filter on one of the Wednesday vibes. Or another one would be when the genie is like, you know, genie wishes lamp, now that ring the bell. Like, they made him look iffy and just, you know, bulgy eyes, or, you know, just the animation seems off a bit. But I like how they kept Abu like really cute but a little mischief, and how Raja and Iago, and that's another thing too, Iago. For those who are Gilbert Gottfried fans, you wouldn't somewhat like him, but he's not the Iago you know of. They made him more of now like a, since this is a live action film, they wanted to make it realistic as possible, so they pretty much made Iago like, he can still speak without even like mimicking somebody's voice, but still it doesn't feel like the same Hubert as Gilbert Gottfried did in the animated. So kind of felt disappointed, but there were some moments when Iago talked that I was just like, haha, very funny, and you know, all that stuff. So no, I'm pretty impressed. And what's also new about the film is how Guy Ritchie, he added 2 new characters, well, kind of 3, but he kind of has a similar character to somebody else. But let's focus on 2 for now. One of them being Billy Magnuson, who portrays as Prince Anders. And he shows up only for like a little bit, like a couple of scenes, just for a few seconds, but he's so funny. I watched Game Night like when it came out, and he played at like one of those like actors that like is inviting women like to game night just to, you know, have a show that he has a girlfriend. So, but in this film, he's so funny. He brings like the light of like comedy, like the fun, like in a good way. And then a second one, the really important one. This is why. So, Guy Ritchie casted Nassim Pedrad as the Dala. And Dala is a very, like, good, like, sub-character to the film, because she acts like a best friend to Jasmine, a handmaid, who always tries to give Jasmine the best, like, life, like be a very good friend, giving her advices and, like, suggestions, and reminding her of, like, what she should be. But she's like a if you're having a sleepover with somebody like as like as like a little kid, like this is kind of a similar vibe. It's so like it's very touching, and the she's also in love with the genie, so that's why it's very important. Do you think Aladdin and Jasmine were the only ones in love? Well, not for this film. It's not. So it's cool actually. And so yeah, so what I like about this film so far, the choreography of dancing, they try and make it Bollywood style. What do you call it? Bollywood or Ali? Well, so like some films that are based on like cultural preference, they wear costumes and they try like add like a unique dancing style to it to make it seem different than other like musical films like that. So it's cool. So I really love the choreography of it. The Prince Ali one was a bit iffy to me, but then when they got to like the finale or like the harvest, that was a cool like dance. Like it was really cool. And another one would be the visual. I love the visuals of this movie. Even though it wasn't like the animated when they tried to like make Genie transform to different various characters a little bit, but not too much. Or just like when um when Iago gets grabbed by like no, not that one. That's the I'll explain that later too. Or like the sorcerer powers like that like transforms somebody into or minimizes the certain object into smaller. Like they kind of lack that magic, but the thing is that they made it up with the visuals, so they kind of made it like wow, like very colorful. Like the parade at Prince Ali, it was awesome. The Friend Like Me, and just they really made Agrabah look like it exists in our world, even though it's fictional. And Aladdin originated from China, which is interesting. So it's not Arabian, but in Disney's version, they put it as an Arabian setting. So I like how colorful like the confetti was and like the decorations and the costumes. I personally, out of all the costumes are beautiful. They like the costume that Jasmine was wearing made her look so freaking awesome. But Jafar's by far, you see what I did there? Is the best costume I've ever seen. I mean, yes, my favorite color is red, so I like it. But the way they like try to make it look sinister and just like have him hold the staff, the cobra staff, and just like the turban being all red and like it felt so cool. Like that was like a very nice detail they add into the film. They try to make it like Jafar in anime, and I love that, but even better. So that's good. And so visuals are good. I love it. And another one too that I like so far is the musical numbers. Yes, the musical numbers. Without musical numbers, there's no musical. And without no musical, there's no Aladdin, apparently. Or any other Disney films. But, so, my personal favorite so far, as I watched the film, I love Prince Ali and The Speechless. And I really also liked, forgot to mention this, I love the beginning of the movie being Arabian Nights. That was amazing. So they changed it in a way to make it like not sound like them. I thought the vocals and like the drums and the other effects, they're awesome. They're so good. But The Speechless though, oh my gosh, it's much better than Let It Go. But the thing is that like in this movie, the reason why they added Speechless into the whole Aladdin musical, which is a brand new song, but sung by actually Naomi Scott. The reason why it's in it is because the director made Jasmine more like a feminist ruler. because in the story she wants to be this next sultan. Like she wants to connect with her people more and like rule Agrabah in her own way and not be silenced in front of Jafar or other like rulers. So, and to have like a voice heard. Like they really made her powerful in this movie. So if you're a little bit bothered by that, then sucks to be you, honestly. But this is Guy Ritchie, so let's let him do what he does, and that's how it's gonna end. But it's still good. Like I still enjoy watching like The Speechless or like just the musical numbers. Like they really made it as close but in a different way, and there was a lot of funny like scenes. Like my favorites when Genie like the lamp trick at like the friend, like after their friend like me, like when they escape out the cave, Aladdin tricks him and like he's like, I'm keeping my eye on you, and just like, oh, like Abu's just like like, oh no, like all that. And then another one that I like too was when Aladdin's saying, oh, how much he's in love with Jasmine, and like Will Smith like looks right next to Abu's like, are they actually? And Abu's just like smiling with glee. I love that. That's so cute. I love no, but yeah, the humor in this is good, and Will Smith tries to be energetic in a way and just like make some like modern culture references today. Even of course, he can break the fourth wall just like Deadpool. Only for a couple of scenes, but yeah, just saying. But yeah, so I like that. And the cast just in general, not only just the Genie, even though Genie's the MVP, because it's so hard to have that role, but I think all of the cast did a great job. My only like disregard or like that I dislike about the cast was specifically revolving around the Jafar. I know there's some scenes when I'm smiling like, wow, they made him sinister. Cool. But the thing is that I like Jonathan Freeman and as the Jafar and the Gilbert Gottfried as young. But like the thing is that Jafar, I know they were trying to go for a younger like version of him so he could like have the right age to marry Jasmine. But what is iconic about Jafar is that he has the most psycho laugh ever, and just like he really is like intimidating, and that is really like serious, and that like he just the way he like talks, it's so unique in a way, and just it's hard for a villain to sound like that, and and Jafar is like considered one of the most craziest and like awesome villains in Aladdin. I mean, not Aladdin. The whole Disney animated film. Like, he's the most iconic. So, yeah. So, I feel like they should give another guy a chance to play as Jafar, but this, again, is Guy Ritchie, and whatever he does, this is his fault. But I prefer Jonathan Freeman over him. But he did a nice try, like, sitting in. And I dislike the fact that, oh my gosh, like, they got rid of the Cobra scene. Like, yeah, they replaced it with Iago. That was also another one of my favorite scenes, too, when Abu tries to, like, grab the lamp in, like, slow motion, and he luckily grabs it. But Iago, like, the Iago chase, giant parrot chasing over Agrabah. Hello? It's cool you have a music score, and I love the music score. But I want the Cobra scene. That would have been much more cooler. They kept the Genie, evil Jafar, which is good, but still, like, I still like that Cobra. That would have been such a cool animation. But yes, but the ending of now this is where the spoiler comes in. The ending of the Aladdin live action is the best. better than the animated. It just for many reasons, but I'll kind of split it down. So reasons why Jasmine becomes the Sultan, so she can abolish the law and marry Aladdin. And just like another one too is, of course, Genie is free, of course, and make your own gems, like kind of thing. Like it's so. Oh, I love the Genie. Like the moment that Genie hugs Aladdin is such a good moment. Even just as similar as Aladdin kissing Jasmine in A Whole New World, but just Genie he falls in love with Dahlia. They both have kids and they both are sailing boats. If the beginning of the film is a foreshadow to that. So, and of course Aladdin, Jasmine gets married, and just yeah. But I really like this whole film in general. I know that Aladdin 1992 in my heart, and including Robin Williams, will be the best. Like that's why I'm saying, like, in 1992, like, I mean, I was born in 1999, but the thing is that they made this film, like, really touching in a variety of ways and still felt, like, magical and a good classic to watch. I mean, I would watch the live action again, and for movie purposes only, but animated is still better. But hey, I like the new live action remake, and I know that it's going to do many good things, like, in the future. So, like, box office, or, audiences will love, or, like, critics and all of that. And if this was an Oscar Awards, I'm predicting 3 wishes, 3 categories they should be in. First one, costumes. Second one, production. And third one, visuals. And maybe musical numbers. But those 3 so far. Speechless could be in the Grammys, like the future. But for the Oscar, like, I feel like it could win for costumes and for the visual, because it's so hard to make. No, not visual. Production. Because of those 2, it's so hard to make Agrabah exist. And that's very complicated in a variety of ways, including animation, technology, budget. And these production crew were the ones who did the Game of Thrones and other cool shows. So for them, I forgot the name, but just for them to make this film happen, it's awesome. Oh yeah, and also, I forgot, before I resume, I kind of reminded myself. The ones who played Jafar is Marwan Kenzari and also Iago Alantidak, and for the Sultan, Navid Nagaban. I need to say this now because I was almost going to forget them, but, as for the cast did amazing, so I wanted to make sure that we cover them all so far, so we would never forget how great of a contribution they were to their characters, the acting, and all that. So, yeah. So it truly does retell the whole animated and in my heart, the animated would be better, but the live action, there are some aspects that, in a different way, they try and make it different, and that's what I love about it. They truly made it unique, and that the story is still the same, but with different ways. And Will Smith did a great job as a genie. The acting was great. Visually and production-wise was fantastic. And the musical numbers were really and the romance in general, like, between Aladdin, like, Jasmine, and Genie to Dahlia, that was why I fell in love with the movie. Like, the romance, like, chemistry, really what made this movie to be the most, like, fantastic thing about it. Yeah, so, for my final review, my personal review, I would give it an 8 out of 10. It was a great movie, live action, and I can see so many good things coming from this film, especially for family audience and for those that love Aladdin as their childhood film. They will love this film. trust me, you will still feel the same vibe as I did. I still feel it. But it could have been amazing. They could have like changed a little bit some things and take their time finishing this film, because when you rush the film, it doesn't pop out as like, wow. So if you guys take a little bit more time with stuff, I feel like, and better cast of Jafar, this movie would have been like the Avengers Endgame, like Rotten Tomato, or like, you know, good critic reviews. So yeah, but that was my review, and would I recommend it to those who love Aladdin as a kids, or like that truly care about live action films, or that really like Aladdin as a character, or Jasmine? Yes, I would. And the genie is still awesome in this film, so no matter what, you will still have fun with this film. I had fun with this film, especially the whole thing. It's still good vibe, and yeah, so good job, Guy Ritchie. I know there's a lot of stress on you, but I believe you did a great job. Just try a different like, if you had more time, fix some parts of it, and then it would have been perfect. So yeah, that was my review, guys, and and this was my first time making a review, and I tried to say it from my heart, and please let me know how I did, and a good question, like, in the comments below, like, question of the end of the review. Which Aladdin version do you think is better? The live action or the animated? And who else do you think is a MVP of the whole movie? Please, like, write it down in the comments, and please like and subscribe in my channel below. It would really mean a lot to me with all of your support. And I'll definitely make more, like, reaction, like, videos in the future and other cool stuff. So please, your comments could really, like, let me know how I'm doing and how I could be better in future videos to come. So that's all for today, and great job to the cast, and yeah, thank you guys for watching the video, and until next time, gotta fly out of here. Wait, is there actually a car right here? Nope. I gotta stop living in the fiction. I gotta start realizing, well, there's cars, so I'm gonna get a taxi.